Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the 44th Annual West Liberty University Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony. It is a privilege to stand before you today as we celebrate the proud tradition of Hilltopper athletics and honor a new class of inductees whose dedication, skill, and commitment have left an enduring mark on this university. The Hall of Fame is more than just a collection of names and plaques. It presents the very best of what it means to be a Hilltopper. Individuals have competed with passion, carried themselves with integrity, and built a legacy that continues to inspire our student athletes today. This year's inductees have distinguished themselves not only through remarkable performances and achievements, but also through their leadership, perseverance, and their contributions to the West Liberty community long after their playing days have ended. I'd like to take a moment and thank the Topper Station crew for their hard work and professionalism, for allowing us to bring this ceremony to life and ensuring that the Hilltopper family near and far can join us in this celebration. I also want to recognize Assistant Athletic Director Rex Lancaster, Administrative Assistant Robin Bruner. It's all of their hard work that allows this event to go on as smoothly as it does. To our inductees today, it is a reflection of your hard work, your sacrifices, and your love for the game and for the institution. You have set the standard for excellence, and your names will forever be a part of the history and pride of West Liberty University. We are grateful for the way you represent the university and for the example you set for future generations of our student athletes. Thank you all for enjoying us this morning and your remarkable individuals, tradition of excellence, and making a Hilltopper so special. And as always, go Toppers. At this time, I'd like to introduce WLU President Dr. Tim Borchers.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see so many people here today to celebrate the accomplishments of our student athletes who have achieved incredible success during their career here. Welcome back to the Hilltop. We always love to have people here. People tell me Hilltop is home, and I've heard that already a couple times today from talking to some of you. So I'll be brief because I know you're all ready to eat breakfast and hear about all the accomplishments of our athletes. But I just want to extend my thanks to our staff for hosting today's event, and Athletic Director Brad Forshee for his leadership of our department. Congratulations to all of you on your success. I enjoyed reading about some of the statistics, and I'm looking forward to hearing your accounts of your time on the Hilltop. So as Brad said, go Hilltoppers.
All right, at this time, the food service will release each table to go ahead and get breakfast. And once everybody gets settled, we'll continue with the ceremony.
Can I have your attention, please? If you're still eating, go ahead and finish up, but we are going to start the formal part of this ceremony. If you don't remember, I'm Len Allum. I'm your Master of Ceremonies. This is my 33rd year. I still have the wonderful hair and the toned athletic body, so don't let that distract you. But this is an incredible day. Every single year. It is one of my favorite days because I get to introduce people that have made a lasting impact on West Liberty University. And it's not just on the playing fields and courts and whatever. They've gone on and done wonderful things in their lives. And there's nothing better than giving them this opportunity, our opportunity to recognize what they've done, but to bring them up here and let them share their experiences. There always are tears shed. Some people get in sooner or later, and it really doesn't matter because today is your day in the sun. And before we get into that, I just want to mention we have a committee that elects these inductees. There are criteria. It usually starts with All-American, All-Conference, et cetera, et cetera. For the longest time, we didn't start this Hall of Fame until 1981. And for the longest time, you were eligible 5 years after you were finished playing. Well, starting in 81, we had to catch up on 60 years of athletics before 81. So it just took a while. But once we joined the NCAA and the athletes are promoted differently, there was a huge increase in the number of individuals that are now making all-conference, all-American, all-region, et cetera, and our numbers swelled. So we moved it to 8 years so we could catch up and get rightfully included people in, and then we had to move it to 10 years. So if you're wondering, like, geez, this person was the National Player of the Year and it took him 10 years to get in, that is now the criteria 10 years after you have played. So in that vein, I'd also like to say, people are going to fall through the cracks. It's just, we now have how many sports, Coach Forshee?
19.
We have 19 sports. That's a lot of individuals, and people do fall through the cracks. So if you're aware, you have a friend, a colleague, a former teammate, whatever that you feel is Hall of Fame worthy, go online on hilltoppersports.com. There's a nomination form, and you don't even have to worry about including all of the data. We have that. We can find that. But we're not perfect, and sometimes we need our memories jarred. So please reach out, email, and we'll take it in front of the committee. But as always, this is a star-studded class. I'm excited to hear their speeches today. Just a couple reminders. Please turn your cell phones off. I said that like 3 years ago, and of course mine went off. So it does happen. And if you're at the dinner, you are our guest at the football game. So just go down to the stadium because we will reintroduce them at halftime. Give your best smile, say Hall of Fame, and they will let you in. So without anything further, we are going to start the formal process. One of the very first things we do is recognize any current members of the Hall of Fame that are in attendance. Please stand to be acknowledged. Thank you. I will now give the formal roll call of this year's 2025 West Liberty University Athletic Hall of Fame class. Please hold your applause until the last name is read. Damon Brooks, Cory Delgruzzo, Eddie Garczyk, C.J. Hester, Mark Johnston, Lena Kalvans, Hillary Southworth. Now, fortunately, one of the great things about being around as long as I have is I have now, and when I started this 33 years ago, I was younger than probably any of the inductees that year. Now I'm probably older than any of the inductees, but the great thing about that is everybody on this year's class, I had the pleasure of seeing play. So it brings back great memories for me as well. Our first inductee, and I told him this before this ceremony started, he was born 25 years too early. If he would have been around when spread offenses came into vogue, he would have been unbelievable. So right now, to start this induction, I am going to formally introduce Damon Brooks. I will read a quick bio. Their full bios are in your program. We do not read the full bio for the sake of time. Damon Brooks, a big play receiver and return specialist. Brooks still holds WLU's career record for kickoff return yards. He finished with 23 touchdown receptions and over 3,900 all-purpose yards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Damon Brooks.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I didn't need these a while ago. Good morning, everyone. I first want to thank God for this tremendous blessing and allowing me to share this moment with my family and all of you. I know that without His grace, none of this would be possible. I want to thank those who nominated me and to the committee members who ultimately voted for me. It's truly an honor. I want to extend my congratulations to all of the other inductees and say it's a privilege and an honor being inducted with you. I want to thank my coaches at that time, Bob Eaton, Scott Cook, Reggie Phillips, and Roger Walleye, for having my best interests in hand and believing in me. Most importantly, I'd like to thank all of my teammates and how we pushed to bring the best out of each other. Although this is an individual achievement, this would not be possible without including all of them. Before my career at West Liberty, I was a running back. I was a 1,000-yard rusher and blessed to be selected the Division IV Back of the Year. I pretty much thought I would continue my career as a running back, but Coach Eaton had something else in mind. When he started recruiting me, he said he wanted me to come play receiver. I thought about the transition of getting the ball on almost every play to just when it's thrown to me. But then I thought of how hard Coach Eaton fought for me to come here and play, so I shook his hand. He obviously saw something in me that I didn't necessarily see in myself at that time, but here we are today. As athletes, hard work, passion, and sacrifice are preached to us. No one has given me better examples of those words than my mom, and I want to thank you for that. I'm glad to be able to share this day with two of my kids and my grandchild, Taylana. I want them to realize that not only in sports, but when you apply these things in your everyday lives, good things will result. And to my wife, Lisa, thank you for making me a better man. I want to sum things up by apologizing to the Topper Nation for not being able to bring a conference championship to our campus when I played. All I ever wanted to be was called a champion, but that never happened. But to now be a member of this exclusive club and to be immortalized in this way, I can rest a little bit easier now being called a Hall of Famer. Thank you, go Toppers.
Our next inductee was obviously a great baseball player here. One of the few four-time all-conference players in any of our sports. That is a rare feat. Cory Delgruzzo, one of the most productive hitters in Hilltopper history. Cory was a four-time All-WVIC honoree. He ranks among WLU's all-time leaders in batting average, 377, hits 214, doubles 53, and RBIs 124. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present Cory Delgruzzo.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations to all of today's honorees, well deserved. Standing here today, I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Baseball has been such a central part of my life, shaping not only the player I became, but also the person I am today. And while I've had my share of highs and lows on the field, the truth is the journey has never been about me alone. It's been about all the people who stood beside me, supported me, and believed in me. Today is about thanking each of you. First, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to West Liberty. The institution provided me with a platform to compete in the sport I love, and equally important, the opportunity to grow both as an athlete and as a student. The lessons I learned there have helped not only my career in baseball, but also the person I have become. West Liberty was more than a place to play the game. It was where I truly matured and prepared for challenges of life beyond the field. To my parents, Dave and Debbie Delgruzzo, I don't even know where to begin. From the very first time I picked up a bat, you were there. Excuse me. You drove me to practices, sat through long tournaments, cheered whether we were winning or losing, and sacrificed more than I'll ever know so that I could chase a dream. Every ground ball, every batting practice, every mile on the road, you were behind it all. This career belongs to you just as much as it does to me. To my beautiful wife, Elisa, thank you for being my constant source of strength. From the very beginning, even back in my college years, you have been right there with me. You've been my biggest fan, showing up, standing by me, and supporting me through every step of this journey. Baseball is a demanding sport. It's not just the games, but the practices, the travel, and the long stretches of time it takes away from everything else. Through all of that, you have been steady, patient, and unwavering. You've celebrated the highs with me and carried me through the lows. And having you by my side has made this more meaningful than I could ever imagined. To my kids, having you here today makes this all even more special. I hope when you look back on this moment, you'll think your dad is at least a little bit cool. More than that, I hope you see that hard work, dedication, and love for what you do can take you far. No matter what path you choose in life, I'll always be your biggest supporter, just like so many people have been mine. I especially want to thank my coach, Bo McConaughey. Coach, your influence extended far beyond the game itself. You challenged me, you pushed me, and at times were pretty tough on me, but always because you believed in me and my potential. The trust you placed in me built my confidence and allowed me to believe in what we were doing on the field. You taught me that talent alone is never enough. Success requires effort, accountability, and heart. I would not be standing here today without your guidance and the confidence you instilled in me. And to my teammates, you're the heartbeat of this whole experience. Baseball is a team game, and the relationships I built in the dugout, in the vans, in the locker room, playing euchre tournaments, working security, those are what I'll carry for me for the rest of my life. Some of you became brothers to me, and I'll always treasure the bonds we formed. We pushed each other, we laughed together, we battled together, and sometimes we hurt together. But every moment was worth it because I got to share it with you. And finally, I want to thank everyone who came here today. My friends, my family, and all of you have supported me. Seeing you here means more than I can put into words. It's one thing to play the game, but it's another to know you have people in your corner. Your presence here today makes this moment even more memorable, and I'll carry with me long after this day is over. Now, when I look back at the stats, the records, they're nice, but what really matters are the people. The memories of celebrating a walk-off, the long road trips filled with stories and jokes, the quiet moments of encouragement, that's what I'll hold on to. Baseball has taught me about perseverance, humility, and gratitude. It's taught me how to handle failure, how to celebrate success, and to always keep working the next goal. More than anything, it's given me a family. Through West Liberty, through Coach Bo, through my parents, through my wife, my brother, my friends, and through each and every teammate I've been lucky enough to play alongside. So today, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in me, thank you for supporting me, and thank you for being part of this incredible day. Thank you.
I mentioned this last year. Our next inductee, Eddie Garczyk, he played when West Liberty was in the NAIA. So the NAIA was incredibly competitive, top-notch athletes. But the difference is when you were in the NAIA, if you weren't a high-profile, visible school, you could legitimately be the best player in America, and there was no guarantee you were going to make All-American. So a lot of our athletes that we induct annually, if they were in the NAIA era, their exploits would be far greater known if they would have done it in the NCAA era. So don't let, when you're looking at resumes, this person wasn't an All-American or whatever, because if they were in the NAIA, it was a very, very tough road. So that brings us to another baseball player, and Coach McConaughey, want to say hello to you back there. Eddie Garczyk, a key contributor to 3 consecutive WVIC championship teams from 1987 to 1989. Eddie remains WLU's all-time leader in batting average, 381, stolen bases, 77, and triples, 14. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present Ed Garczyk.
Thanks a lot. To the committee, West Liberty University administration, and the selection board, my family and I thank you. What an incredible honor it is to stand here today, surrounded by family, friends, teammates, and coaches who have played a big part in this journey. When I first stepped on the West Liberty's campus from Shadyside, Ohio, I was nervous and a wide-eyed freshman who never could imagine a moment like this. To stand here today among the names I grew up reading about in the newspapers and watching on TV is simply incredible to me. I want to begin by thanking my family, to my mom and my dad. I honestly would not be standing here without you. From the very beginning, you believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. You sacrificed time, energy, and probably a good chunk of your sanity to help me chase my dream. You showed me what love, support, and quiet strength look like. I carry your lessons with me in everything I do, on and off the field. This induction means a lot to me, but sharing it with you even means more. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. To my sisters Chris and Shelley for supporting me in your own unique ways. I would not trade that for anything. My dad, who was from Maynard, Ohio, was a really good baseball player in his day. Played for Sandlot teams in Maynard and in Shadyside. He knew West Liberty not only had a great baseball program, a great team, and a great coach, but would also offer me a great education, which I received. My dad not only taught me the fundamentals of the game, he also taught me the fundamentals of life, teamwork, discipline, and this stayed with me for the rest of my college and professional baseball career. My dad and I spent countless hours at the baseball field in Shadyside. We practiced when it rained, during the heat of the summer, and even in the wintertime. I can't thank him enough for taking the time away from his barbershop to help me achieve my goals. To my coach, Bo McConaughey, you were a mentor and a teacher to me. You saw potential in me that I didn't always see in myself. You demanded excellence, but you also showed me compassion, and I thank you. To my teammates, you are the reason I'm here today. We shared blood, sweat, and tears, especially running sprints after each loss or during those 4-hour practices on Sundays. And I know you remember those. We celebrated the highest and endured the lowest lows. Together, we pushed each other in practice, held each other accountable, and supported each other every step of the way. The bonds we forged on the field will never be forgotten, and I cherish those moments and memories. Well, there's some stories I can tell you guys, but I would have to use some choice words. And I don't think my dad would like that. I think he would actually yell at me. The one thing I can say is that when I came to West Liberty, it was sort of like the Wally Pipp, Lou Gehrig story. Coach Apicella, being the Yankees, I think you know that story. Wally Pipp went up to his coach, said he had a headache, he was sick. Lou Gehrig took his position. And Lou Gehrig played over 2,400 some games straight. When I was a freshman, my job was to run for the catcher. Once I made the team, was to run for the catcher. We'd go on a southern trip. We'd come back home. Didn't get much playing time. I just ran a lot. We'd go up to play Point Park up in Pittsburgh. It was a non-conference game. In the non-conference games, the younger guys get to play, the freshmen. So I was lucky enough to get to play. So we played the first game. We ended up losing the game, but I went 3 for 4. I had 3 hits. I said, man, that's great. So I knew the second game was going to come along, but the regular starters were going to play. Bernie, Mono, all them guys, the upperclassmen. We had a strong team. To break the lineup was going to be tough. So first game gets over. So I got there. My dad was at the game. We go up to the bleachers. I eat lunch with him. So I go out to the outfield to get ready for the second game. I knew all the starters were going to play. So I ran back into the dugout. Coach Bo wasn't with me at the time. I think he had a family emergency and he wasn't at the game. So I went back into the dugout to get ready for my second game, just to sit on the bench till I had to run. And there's the starting second baseman there shivering. He's in a coat, he's shivering. I sat down and I asked him, I said, hey, you doing okay? He's like, no, I'm sick. And I said, uh-oh. So here comes the assistant coach down. He says, Garczyk, he says, you're in, you're batting first. So I go bat first. We play the game. We end up winning. I go 3 for 4 again, for 6 for 8 for the day. After that game, I never came out of the lineup again. I was for the 3.5, 4 years I played, never came out. I'd like to thank Bo for having faith in me and for giving me the opportunity to play for West Liberty. This is a story that my dad and I still talk about till this day. In closing, I would like to thank West Liberty University for this tremendous honor. I'm very proud to be part of the Hall of Fame and even prouder to have worn a jersey. However, I'd like to leave you with this. When I was coming out of high school, quite a few people told me I was too small to play college sports or even become a professional player. Not only did I play for my family, my team, teammates, and my coach, I played to prove all those people wrong. And you know what? I did. Thank you.
Before we induct our next Hall of Famer, we have a short message from the esteemed Dr. John McCullough.
Thank you, Coach. This will be, try to keep this very short. I had one concern. I said, Lynn, I said, now, because I'm only going to be up here just a couple minutes, I said, now, I don't want anyone to mistake me for a member of the Hall of Fame, and he assured me there was absolutely no chance that would happen. So thanks, Coach. I appreciate the confidence. Very quickly, we've got an exciting initiative regarding the Hall of Fame members. In the ASRC, a room dedicated to you individuals who are being inducted today and your cohorts in the hall that will showcase your accomplishments. It'll utilize contemporary graphics and contemporary technology, audio history, and will be really a signature type of showcase for you, for your friends, your families to come and to come back to campus, for anyone visiting campus. And we're just in the initial stages of it, and certainly thanks to the leadership and hard work of Athletic Director Brad Forshee. Sean Ullum from the foundation has done a lot of work, and know we'll have the support of our coaches, and Mike and Bo and Lynn and all the coaches, but it's really going to be a neat way and a professional way to showcase your accomplishments, which need to be showcased. And obviously, it promotes student athletes. It promotes West Liberty University. Our heritage is so great. And one last statement, and communique will be going out to all the Hall of Fame members with more details on that. It's funded, private dollars funded, certainly has the solid support of President Borchers, and so anyone that would ever like to contribute a dollar or anything else, that would be appreciated. But Lynn, last word, I want to join what you said. I had the opportunity to also see these 7 inductees play in their careers, and play multiple times. And as a fan, it was really fun to see them play the game the way it was supposed to be played. As a member of the West Liberty University community, you made us proud. You made us very, very proud, and we thank you for that. Congratulations.
Our next inductee, standout player on the running Hilltopper basketball program. People that have followed men's basketball here for a number of years, they've led the nation in scoring almost every year. And there's the three-point shooting and the steals and the dunks and this and that. But somebody's got to do the other things. And I know as a former coach, guys like CJ are incredibly hard to find. And CJ, that's not a backhanded compliment. You could score, you could step out and hit threes, and your team won 1,000,000 games, but if you're not down there in the paint banging around and getting 1,000,000 rebounds, we don't win championships. So our next inductee, CJ Hester, the first Hilltopper to record both 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Hester was also WLU's first 3-time NCAA Division I academic All-American. He helped lead his team to an incredible 125-13 record during his career. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present C.J. Hester.
Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? It's such an honor to be here today, standing alongside many incredible athletes and hearing all of your stories. I want to start by thanking the West Liberty University Athletic Department and the Hall of Fame Committee. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame is something I never could have imagined when I first stepped on campus. Looking back, almost it's hard to believe my journey even began here. Late in my senior year of high school, I received a handwritten letter from Coach Jim Crutchfield. He told me about the program and how they were doing. He invited me up to a visit. Honestly, I never heard of West Liberty before. But the team was undefeated. They were averaging 100 points a game, so I figured I'd better see what they're all about. The first time I walked into the ASRC, there was standing room only. The atmosphere was electric, and I knew this is exactly where I wanted to be. Coach Crutchfield, Coach Hallett, and Coach Huffman built something truly special here. An incredible program full of talented players, When I first arrived, I honestly hoped just to check into a game, let alone have a Hall of Fame career. Playing for Coach Crutchfield was an honor. He saw basketball differently. He saw it as a chess match. He demanded a maximum effort for 40 minutes with no let-ups. It was a style of play that none of us were ever experienced, and it took a special kind of player to buy into it. And that's what separates West Liberty from every other program in the country. The players here weren't just talented, they were wired differently. We thrived on competing, we pushed each other past our limits, and we bought into a system that requires us to love the grind and not just tolerate it. That mindset I still carry with me today. I'll never forget Coach Hallett's words whenever we were tired, sore, or questioning why are we doing this at 8 p.m. on a Sunday night. He would say, you either like basketball or you love it. And the truth is, this program was built on guys who love to play. We are obsessed with winning, competing, and that culture still defines West Liberty basketball today. Of course, the program wasn't the only thing that made this place special. Driving up Route 88, we all know all you really see are trees and deer. We didn't have a beach. We didn't have a college town with a bunch of college bars. We didn't have a big mall to go to. What we did have was the best program in the country, the best school, and the best fans and community in Division II athletics. And that's the heart of this place. The coaches, the teammates, the mentors, and the people here that all supported us. At the foundation of my journey are my parents. Mom and Dad, you've been my biggest supporters from day one. You instilled in me that you believe in me and invest in anything I could do. You introduced me to basketball. You taught me that academics come first and always pushed me to be a better person on and off the court. Every accomplishment in my life has your fingerprints on it, from high school to college to dental school. Thank you for the pep talks after games, the home-cooked meals after long practices, the late-night phone calls, walking back from the library, and being there during my dental school exams. You are the best parents in the world. You have made me the man I am today, and I will forever be grateful. Thank you for everything done, and I love you both. To my teammates, none of the memories would be the same without you. What an unbelievable 4 years we shared. We spent countless hours grinding through the practices, workouts, competing for 4 conference championships, 3 tournament championships, 4 regional championships, and a shot at a national title. We won a lot of games and broke a lot of records, but I'll always treasure most of the bonds we built on and off the court. The laughter in the locker room, the long van rides, the dinners in the caf, celebrating big wins over Fairmont and Jesuit at the basketball house. These relationships are what being a part of team is really about. I even met my best friend and the best man at my wedding here from West Liberty. Coach Mike Lamberti is here this morning with us today. We're all excited him to take the head reins of the program. I know it's in good hands now. So Bertie, we wish you guys the best of luck. I'm excited to share your success with you on the hilltop, and I'm always looking forward for thanking you for being my right-hand man in all those walk-in Wednesdays, Domino's pizzas that we share together. Thank you to the rest of my teammates for making all these memories memorable, and it was a blast to play with you guys. But my time at West Liberty wasn't shaped by the basketball court. The classroom also played just as big a role in my journey. I want to thank West Liberty Biology Department, the faculty, and especially Mr. and Mrs. Kreisberg. Without their guidance, I would not become an academic All-American or a dentist today. You challenged me academically, prepared me for dental school, and gave me the foundation for success in life. And for that, I'll always be grateful. Beyond school and basketball, there was a bigger support system around me. To my extended family, my aunts, uncles, cousins, mother-in-law, father-in-law, nieces, nephews, sister-in-law, thank you for always being there in my corner. Your love and encouragement carried me through my academic, athletic, and professional career. Having such a strong support system is a blessing that I will never take for granted. Of course, my greatest blessing comes after playing days have ended. To my beautiful wife, Brianna, and my son, Camden, you guys are my everything. You guys are my rock, my motivation every single day. Bree, you've been my rock through every high and low. You've seen me as a high school basketball player and a struggling dental student, and to everything in between. Thank you for your love, your patience, and your unwavering support in me. You keep me grounded and motivated, and I can't wait to share all the more memories with you. I love you. And to my son, Cam the man, wherever he is running around out there, I know you've only been here for 16 months, but you've already changed my entire perspective on life. Every day I wake up wanting to do better. not just for you, but not just for myself, but for you. You're my greatest motivation now, and I just want to make you and your mom proud, to show you what hard work, faith, perseverance can do. And who knows, hopefully one day I'll be sitting at your Hall of Fame induction. This honor tonight just isn't mine. It belongs to everyone here in this room that shares it with me, especially my friends, families, teammates, coaches. I just want to thank you guys all for this special day. Hilltop truly is home to me. I love coming back here each and every day. And as always, let's go Hilltoppers.
CJ, I don't know what was more impressive, your career or being able to read that speech on your phone without glasses. But if we have a dentist, we want him to have good eyesight, right? So, our next inductee played in the NAIA era. And Mark, I don't know how many times you've been back since you graduated, but if you get a chance today, go down and look at our facilities. You know, from the locker room to the press box to the new turf field. It's just incredible. And again, I'm an old timer. I started here in 91, 92. And to see our facilities here at West Liberty University, it is truly incredible. And I've been around a long time. I've been to a lot of places. And at the Division II level, our overall facilities, we have the indoor practice facility. We built the new track and soccer complex. We have so many great things here. So for any of you out there, if you have brothers, sisters, kids, grandkids, neighbors, and they're looking for a place to go to school, please recommend West Liberty University. Mark Johnston, a two-time first-team All-WVIC defensive back. Mark became WLU's first multi-year NCAA Division II academic All-American. He led the team in tackles and interceptions in back-to-back seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present Mark Johnston.
First of all, congratulations to all the nominees today. Well deserved. And yeah, the phone thing isn't going to work. I can tell you that right now. So we're going to Damon's, bro. We're going to get the glasses on and go. All right. When you get to be about 60, it all starts to go away a little bit. So what an incredible honor it is to stand here before you today. To be inducted into the West Liberty Hall of Fame and be mentioned as the same breath as Bobby Douglas, Joe Necro, Mark Murphy, is humbling. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for making today so special. As I prepared for this induction ceremony, a lot of thoughts go through your head. I could stand up here and talk about football, X's and O's, Jimmy's and Joe's, and probably bore everybody to death. Also in today's world, I think I could have probably jumped on AI or some kind of perplexity or something and typed in College Football Hall of Fame speech and threw a few details in it. It probably would have spit out something pretty satisfactory, I would imagine. But what I looked at and wanted to go back and say, how did football impact my life in the whole piece of time here at West Liberty? Football has played a defining role in my life, not just as a game, but as a powerful teacher. It shaped both my high school and college years and ultimately the person I've become today. Now as a retired but kind of back in the game high school coach, I work hard every day to pass along the lessons the game has taught me, lessons far more important than wins and losses. Football teaches you so much: work ethic, sportsmanship, mental toughness, patience, and sacrifice, just to name a few. But if there are 4 life lessons that I try to emphasize with my high school players and ones that I try to live by more than anything else, it's these 4. Accountability, competition, control what you can control, and discipline. Accountability. Football is the ultimate team sport. Individuals don't win, teams do. Being accountable to your teammates, takes ownership, fulfilling commitments, standing by your responsibilities, no matter what the circumstance. One of my favorite quotes from Mike Tomlin is, "Excuses are the tools of the weak and incompetent." Right? It's always easy to point a finger at somebody else or something else and not yourself. We constantly remind our players circumstances don't change the responsibility. Right? Accountability is a cornerstone of life, not just football. Accountability develops character, life skills, and they're all necessary to be in all aspects of your life. Competition. True competition isn't just about beating someone else. It starts with pushing yourself to be better every single day. It means going beyond what's expected, embracing challenges, and developing a mindset built for adversity. Competition is just an ordinary performance on a special day. If you're willing to compete on a daily basis, then a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon game, although it's a special day, is just an ordinary one. We talk about competitive greatness, being at your best when your best is required. Everyone is good when they're winning. It's easy to be a leader and compete when you're winning. Competing at your best when your best is needed is the difference between a competitor and an average player. We encourage our players to lean into competition, not just on the field, but in the classroom, in their relationships, with their families, and in life. Competition develops positive traits like resilience, determination, and motivation coming from within. Control what you can control. One of my favorite things I talk about. In football, you're one of 11. You do your part, you stay within yourself, you stay focused on your preparation, your effort, and your attitude. Success at anything will come down to this, focus and effort. And we control both of these every single day. There'll always be noise, external factors you can't influence. Success comes from knowing the difference between what's in your control and what's out of your control, and focusing all your energy on those things you can control. Finally, discipline. Contrary to the thought process of kids, players, and maybe even parents today, discipline isn't about punishment. It's about building habits that last a lifetime. The same consistency you need to show up to practice on time applies to school, careers, and relationships. Discipline creates structure, and over time, that structure shapes your mindset. It's not glamorous, but it's where long-term success is forged. As part of the being disciplined, we talk about committing to a process. Dedicate yourself to the journey. You have to be committed. In the summer, when your friends are at the pool or the beach, you're out there running 2 days in gassers in 90-degree heat. School year, friends are getting up, running into school at 8 o'clock. You've been in the gym in the weight room at 6 in the morning. All right. It's never fun, and it's not meant to be. But having that commitment is very important. And these aren't things I guess I just teach. The principles I try to live by every day. Take ownership, compete relentlessly, tune out distractions, and be consistent in all areas of your life. This honor today isn't just mine. It belongs to everyone who's been a part of this journey. It's not just a celebration of 4 years at West Liberty. It's a celebration of a lifetime of friendships, shared goals, and respect. I'd like to first thank Tracy Bragg and David Burnquist for nominating me for this honor. I'm incredibly proud to share this Hall of Fame honor with former teammates John Paisano and Billy Berg, who both played the game the right way. Also want to thank former teammates that are here today and this morning to be part of this special day. I'm actually fortunate to live 4 doors down from Cedric Harris, who was inducted last year in the Hall of Fame, and he still continues to make a difference coaching basketball at Zanesville High School. One of my best friends, David Burnquist, earned his place in the Hall through his skill in baseball. But it's his attitude towards life that stands out the most. Seems pretty simple. Have fun and enjoy it. I also had the rare gift of sharing my college years with my childhood best friend, Tracy Bragg, who came to West Liberty to wrestle. Spending those extra years together, building memories and strengthening our friendship is something I'll never take for granted. Sometimes the journey truly is more meaningful than the destination. I want to thank my coaches, Coach Poblish, Coach Dish, Coach Haycock, who probably is in Cincinnati right now getting ready to take on the Bearcats, and Coach Shank, who's in Hilton Head on vacation. And I told him Hilton Head this time of year was probably a little better than West Liberty. So thank you for believing in me, especially during moments when I may not have believed in myself. Most importantly, I want to thank my family. To my mom and dad, thank you for making it to every single one of my 40 college football games. Rain or shine, I could always count on seeing you in the bleachers and after the game. And I think it was 1986. We played at Urbana in the worst weather that I think I've ever played in my life. It was freezing cold, raining, and there they were sitting in the stands just like nothing was going on. And I'm positive there were multiple Saturday mornings that the time to get started out of the driveway was well before my mom was ready to get out of bed and get going. So thank you for making all that effort. To my wife Beth and my sons Tyler and Travis, you may be a better man, husband, and father than I ever imagined I could be. Football and family may seem different, but in many ways they mirror each other. Both require commitment, communication, shared goals, and sacrifice. And I'm thankful I've received all of that from my family. Thank you, West Liberty, for believing in me, for pushing me, and for giving me a home. I'm honored, I'm grateful, and forever proud to be a topper. Thank you.
Now we're at the point where the last two, and not that I don't love all the previous inductees, but I got to be part of the next two inductees' journey. I had the absolute pleasure to coach them both. Both came from radically different circumstances. So I'm going to start with Lena Kalvans. Unfortunately, Lena's kind of stuck in Russia, and she could not make it here. Sometimes we take living in the United States for granted, and trust me, we are blessed because she can't even get on Facebook. So the details and going through this, very, very difficult, and after 2 years, we still weren't really able to fine-tune the details. So I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to talk about Lena a little bit and hopefully convey maybe what she is thinking. As a college coach in any sport, sometimes recruiting is unbelievably rewarding and sometimes it can be really, really depressing. You just never know. You could put weeks, months, years into recruiting a kid and they never show up. And for Lena, she made me look like a good coach, but I got a call from a local couple in Wheeling and said, hey, I've got a kid that some things have fallen through for her and she would like to see maybe if you would take her at West Liberty. And Lena played at Mount Deshawnel, which is no longer in existence, but it was a private school sitting right down in Wheeling, down by Kroger. And out of the blue, they became a national basketball power, top 10 in the country in women's girls basketball. And all of their players went Division I. They'd only have 8 or 9 kids on the team. I think at one time there were only 19 girls in the school. So the girls basketball team was pretty much the school. So, and this wasn't really smart of me, I really didn't recruit her because every one of those kids were going to prominent Division I's. And I think that was kind of in Lena's skill set too. She had came here, played 1 or 2 years of high school in Virginia, transferred up to Mount Deshawnel for her last year, and probably thought she would just follow her teammates. Well, whatever happened, happened, and she just landed on my doorstep. And I worked her out, and I could see she was raw, but she was a 6'1" kid that could handle the ball and shoot it a little bit. And I'm like, sure, I'll take you. You know, it's just absolutely pure luck. And when you're coaching international kids, their learning curve is all over the place. Some of them speak great English. Some of them speak broken English. You just never know if what you're trying to coach or teach is going to get lost in translation. Luckily, Lena spoke very, very good English. She was very acclimated to our way of life here in the United States. An absolute joy to coach. We were a pretty star-studded team when she joined us as a freshman. You know, we had won 25 games every year probably for the previous 4 or 5 years. And she immediately got into our rotation. She didn't start her freshman year, but was an integral part of a championship team where we beat the number 4 team in the country in the WVIC championship, yes, it was WVIC at that time, championship game. So I got to coach Lena for 4 years. Sometimes coaching international kids, they don't have the support system. They can't go home every weekend, obviously, and get a home-cooked meal or whatever. But I think she was as easy to coach as about any kid that I ever coached. And that was due to just her personality and who she was. Incredibly low maintenance. Showed up, did what she was supposed to do, did well in the classroom. Every year got a little bit better. Ended up being a 2-time WVIC first team all-conference player. Ended up being a regional player of the year. Ended up being an All-American. And it was just easy. Some kids just gravitate and find what you need them to do. And that's the greatest testament that I can give Lena. She was a great player. She was a versatile player. She was a unicorn. If she played in today's game, the same thing. She was born just a little bit too early. She's a kid that would have played to 5 at 6'1", and she was a deer. I mean, she could beat people down the court. She could step out and shoot threes. She would have been an incredible beast if she was playing today. But again, just the easiest coach or kid to coach, never complained, and she didn't have what a lot of kids did. You know, again, she didn't have a support system. So for me to coach her for 4 years and her being so incredibly low maintenance, I was unbelievably blessed, and I'm unbelievably thankful. This is an honor that she absolutely deserves. So I'm going to read her quick bio as well. Lena Kalvans, a dominant force in the paint. Kalvans was a 3-time All-WVIC performer who scored 1,579 points, grabbed 722 rebounds, helping guide the toppers to WVIC championship and multiple NCAA tournament appearances. Lena was just a gift, and she fell on my doorstep. And boy, as coaches, Mike, wouldn't you love that you just have all conference kids fall on your doorstep? I really don't know what she would want to express today because, again, they just can't communicate. They're not allowed on social media. So I wish we were able to get her thoughts. I just know that people really, really liked her. I know she was deeply appreciative of what she received here at West Liberty. She received her education, became an All-American basketball player. And if she was here today, I'm confident she would be very, very humble. So Lena, if you're out there, hopefully you will get a copy of this. We love you to death, and I would like everyone in here to give her a great round of applause so she feels appreciated. All right, last and not least, before I get into Hillary, there's some kids, and I'm old, so I call them all kids, although they're wonderful young women now, but some kids were born to play basketball, and I think Hillary was one of those that was born to play basketball. Just had an incredible skill set. And, you know, at one time, I don't even think this is politically correct to say now, but people would say she plays like a guy. She played like a guy, and she's played with men's basketball players, and she plays pretty darn well. And I only wish, and we all have different journeys, that I could have coached a healthy Hillary. You know, her grinding it out on one leg for most of the time she was at West Liberty, You went through pain and tough times and had the red shirt, but you know, your year where you were national player, runner-up player of the year, her talent level just incredible. And she'll talk to you a little bit about that, and I don't want to extend this any longer than I have to, but again, I'm here introducing two kids that I had the pleasure of coaching. And I don't know if I made any impact. They would have been great players without any coaches. But I'm just glad I was along for the ride. Hillary Southworth, a dynamic scorer and consensus 2013 NCAA Division II All-American. Southworth averaged 18.6 points per game at WLU and finished second in the nation at scoring during the 2012 and 13 season. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present Hillary Southworth.
Thank you, Coach Allum. Thank you to the committee. Thank you for the board for opening this door. For me, it's truly such an honor to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. Coach Allum. I think that you meant to say, like, I was a gift on your doorstep, too. Probably missed that, too. As many of you know, I'm just going to wing this. I am too stressed to go off my notes, so we're going for it. As many of you know, I transferred from App State to come here after my freshman year. Hardest year of my life, bad environment. Thought about giving up the sport that I love the most, just because I did not love it anymore. And coaching plays a big part of that. So Jen, who was down at Wheeling Jesuit, would always talk about her and her friends going up the hill to watch the Hilltoppers, the boys team at West Lib, play just because they were really good. And she always talked about them, and so when I was looking to leave App State, I slid into Coach Allum's DMs to be closer to Jen. I made my parents. And I sent him an email, that's what I meant. And I introduced myself, I told him my situation, and asked if they were in need of a tall guard who just loves the game of basketball. And luckily, he agreed to let me come up to West Lib, and I remember that day coming up with my mom. I think it was like summer had just started, so it was a beautiful day. I remember it so distinctly. We get off the exit, start going up the hill, and we're like looking at each other. We're like, what's happening? What is this place? And where is this place? Like, and it just, what felt like an eternity. We finally make it to see a couple of signs, a ghost town of a university, and just, yeah, you didn't tell me about the drive up, so that was definitely a red flag for one. I was like, Mom, I don't know about this anymore. I'm a little bit car sick. So we pull onto campus. We see Coach Allum he's the only person on campus. He's standing on the corner as you round the corner by the football stadium before turning right into the ASRC. He's standing, holding the basketball, just in his hand, just by himself. I'm like, Mom, let's just keep driving. That's red flag. Let's go. This is weird. All of this is weird. I didn't know anything about West Lib. I wasn't fully on board until I spent the day with Coach Allum, Coach Drehas. We toured the campus. We played 3-on-3. I'm the best 3-on-3 player now because of you. And I am so eternally grateful for this experience at West Liberty. I truly feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. West Liberty has been the best 4 years of my life. And it's truly an honor to be a part of its history. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this recognition and for the community that made me who I am. I will always be proud to be a Hilltopper, and I'm so thankful to my teammates. Wouldn't have wanted to go into battle with anyone else. Thank you for coming here today, being here for me. And I think this has just been so special because early on I did face some career-ending, what could have been career-ending injuries. I tore both my ACLs in high school back-to-back, less than a year apart. But I was weirdly obsessed with basketball thanks to my dad, who just like never pushed me, never. It was always my decision, but we'd spend like 6 hours a day sometimes in the gym, like getting back, because I wanted to be the best basketball player I could be, and I have you to thank for that. And I grew up in a neighborhood full of boys who never took it easy on me. Builds character, I think you would always say. It's fine, it builds character. But I think the adversity that you have to go through, for that, I never saw myself being here today. And so that's why it means so much more. And, you know, West Liberty was home for me. People became mentors. Like I tried coaching this year, high school basketball, and I called Coach Allum, asking for advice and telling him how much I am reminded that I am him now. I'm like, try harder, do better, what are you doing? Just using the same lines. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never saw this happening. But I'm like so happy and thankful that I still have that opportunity to learn from you and try to share my love of basketball like with others. I am such an advocate for this sport and for women's basketball, and I'm just so thankful for this platform and this experience. And thank you to everyone who's been a part of the journey. I am deeply grateful, and I will always be grateful to be a Hilltopper. Cheers.
All right, bear with me for a second. This is totally impromptu. I wasn't planning on coming back up here and talking to you all again today, but Eddie Garczyk said something when he was giving his speech that really resonated with me. He looked at Coach McConaughey back there and said, Coach, thank you for the opportunity. That's a word that gets overlooked in athletics these days, is opportunity. Opportunity gets confused with entitlement. Okay? So athletics can open the door for a lot of success in your life. It gives you the opportunity. What you do with that opportunity is up to you. When I look around the room right now, I see a lot of young people. Don't confuse entitlement with opportunity. Make sure you can get that hard work, the loyalty, the commitment. I see parents, I see grandparents. Continue to instill those beliefs into your children, your grandchildren, because that's what makes Division II athletics special. Our student athletes aren't chasing millions of dollars in the land of NLI, transfer portal, all of those things. We're chasing championships and, more importantly, degrees. Higher education still holds a purpose in our culture today. Everybody talks about the expense of higher education. Yeah, it does cost a little bit of money, but that's an investment on your future. And there will be a return on that investment. A college degree still has a place here today. In West Liberty, I've been here 21 years now. It's one of the finest institutions you'll see. But when Eddie Garczyk said the word opportunity, I had to come back up and speak again. Opportunity will come knocking. What you do with it then is up to you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Hillary, I have to respond. I have to respond. 3-on-3. Who won more games when we were playing? I always thought we put you and Jen on opposite teams to fight. So anyway, Hillary did kind of fall on my lap, but Lena was coming. All I had to do was say yes. Hillary just drove 88, and I had to beg her a little bit. And Hillary was also a pretty good recruiter, because I'm going to tell the same story. Her friend Jen Money's sitting here, and Hillary was at our place for 1 year, and she said, hey, my friend Jen is thinking about maybe coming to school here, and she wants to see if she can play basketball. And I had known Jen because she was Hillary's friend, and we brought her up and put her through a workout, and I'm like, this kid's pretty good. So thank you, Hillary. You were getting assistant coach asterisk there for signing Jen as well. And last thing about Hillary, she's the one person that deflected a ton of my passes, so we called her Inspector Gadget Arms. She just had a knack. But what a wonderful day. Probably the most humble of the inductees. They're the shortest speeches we've ever had at Hall of Fame. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but definitely a humble crew. We're getting out of here pretty early. It's before 11. The football game's not until 1. So I'm assuming most of you are going to stay and see the induction at halftime and watch the game. So I encourage you, go out on the campus, walk around and look at West Liberty University. I had talked about our athletic facilities earlier. We have a beautiful campus. There's beautiful weather out there. Get out, walk the campus, see some of the new things or buildings that we have that maybe when you weren't here previously. And last and not least, we want you to return. We have 19 sports here, quality student athletes, coaches, etc. Come back to games. And don't get mad at me for saying this, but call me, we'll get you in. But please, please come back. We want you to come back and watch our teams play. Thank you today. Thank you to the inductees. See you again next year.